works.
So we're doing Netivot Shalom on Purim. חייב אינש לבסומי בפורי עד לא ידע. Right? Who doesn't know this pasuk? חייב אינש לבסומי בפורי עד לא ידע. Right? So it says in the Masechet Megillah, a person needs to be mevusam. So some say drunk, partially. Right? I think it's one of our favorite topic. So somebody or anyone needs to drink on Purim to get into a level that he will not recognize or identify between cursed Haman to blessed Mordechai. That's from Masechet Megillah. In a chiyuv, so this is like a chiyuv, it's like a mitzvah. It's one of the wonder things of Purim, דברים המופלאים. שהרי פורים יום גדול וקדוש הוא עד מאוד. Right? It's a very holy day. It says that הרבה עניינים נשגבים, divine thing. It's like Yom Kippurim, right? Purim כיום כיפורים, right? And it's the day of the Kabbalat Torah, right? Receiving the Torah, but from our own will, right? It's a higher level from Ma'amad Har Sinai, because in Ma'amad Har Sinai, it was like forced on us, right? Hashem took the mountain and said, are you getting it, or I'm dropping the mountain on you? No, of course we're getting the Torah. Of course, we're accepting. So that was by force. Purim was by Ratzon. So it's a higher level. And also we're going to erase Amalek, and also anyone that asks for money, for charity, right, is being given. So it seems to be, it looks like so many things need our concentration, full concentration. So how does it reconcile with the obligation to get a little bit drunk? והדרך העבודה, יש לומר, right? So now we're switching to Hasidut, the path of work. It's hinted in the Lashon when it says, חייב אינש לבסומי בפוריה. דלא אמרו לבסומי ביין, אלא בפוריה. So they didn't say, if you read, it doesn't say that a person need to get drunk with wine. It said he need to get drunk with Purim, which means he should get drunk from the Purim itself, not for drinking. But
yeah, they say that about Simchas Torah too.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Not from the wine, but from all the divine revelation of Purim, which are coming once in a year. And according to that, we need to explain that we need to explain about what does it mean that he was not going to recognize between cursed Haman and blessed Mordechai, which is related to the mitzvah of the day of Purim, and Kriyat Megillah, and Mishloach Manot, erasing Amalek, and the Kabbalat Torah beratzon, right? So he said, so there are 3 parts for Purim. And these 3 parts are like the 3 parts of perfection in Avodat Hashem. As the Maral explained, he said, Shlemut Avodat Hashem kolelet shalem im bor'o, shalem im chaverav, shalem im atzmo. So shalem is complete. You can also read as shalom, is peace. So complete and with peace with his creator. Second, in peace and complete with his friends. And second, being in peace and complete with himself. And all of them has blessed Mordechai, and also, unfortunately, cursed Haman. And then, Asher Chayav Inish Lebusumi, so in the Purim, from the Kedushat Hayom, a person need to get a little bit drunk until he could not recognize between the difference between the two, the blessed and the cursed. And Kriyat Megillah. So now, when a person need to get drunk, then this is between him and himself. Now, reading of the Megillah, it's the one that actually is being peace and complete with the Creator, with Hashem. There are times that Hashem help us, and our hearts and our brain are open, and we feel very close to Hashem. We feel like we are blessed, like Mordechai. And there are dark times, that we feel that sometimes that we're getting distance from Hashem. And we are like in the dark, and whether if it is darkness in the Gashmi, right, in the physical things, or whether if it is in the dark with the spiritual thing, until he think that is chas v'chalila thrown away completely from Hashem, and all his existence suddenly became like cursed Haman. And that's the worst situation for any Jew, because as long as we're feeling close to Hashem, then he can still have a chance and he will be able to stand and pass all the nisyonot and everything that Hashem threw at him. But it's very bitter and bad when he seems to be like he's thrown away from Hashem. כעובדים בארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים. So said, but yes, in Purim, חייב אינש לבסומי עד לא ידע בן ארור אמר ברוך מרדכי, that he should withdraw from the Purim a great happiness until he will feel in his heart that there is no difference between the time that he feel close to Hashem, between the time he feel distance from Hashem. Right? The Kai Malan ke Rabbi Meir. He says in Masechet Kiddushim, Rabbi Meir says, שבין כך ובין כך נקראו בנים. Whether if we sins or not, Hashem will always treat us as his sons. Right? ואפילו כשהם לא מעלה וחוטאים, הרי הם גם כן בנים. And also like the האדמו"ר הקדוש מהורשדי, השם מגן עלינו, השם ייקום דמו, in Purim, he says in the beginning of the Holocaust, when they were already under the regime of the communists, and he said it was very bad time. So he said in the name of Harav HaKadosh Miruzhin, he said the prince, the son of the king, always remain the son of the king. It doesn't matter what they're doing to him, they abuse him, they do anything to him. His existing will remain the son of the king. And this is the feeling that we should have as well in all situations. And to feel with peace and complete with Hashem. Until we don't, it's not that we don't recognize and we don't know who is cursed and who is blessed, but it is that even in time when we feel like we're cursed and we feel that we're blessed, we know that it's all from Hashem, and we're going to move on. And that's the inyan of mitzvat Kriyat Megillah. And now the part when we should be complete and peace with our friends. He says also there is a cursed Haman and blessed Mordechai. There are friends that he feel that they're very close to his heart. They're Hagunim, Veruim, they're like blessed Mordechai. And some friends, he see them like they're cursed like Haman. Whether if it is because of him, because he is down, and that's why he thinks that the rest are down too, and they're not all right, they're not okay, they're not decent. Or maybe friends that are really not decent. Maybe somebody have friends from in the mafia, right? So Purim, Chayav Adam lebesumi ad lo yada. So again, that he shouldn't know, and that's why, like, he shouldn't recognize, he shouldn't treat them like this. He should send them mishloach manot, right? So what's the purpose of sending food? It's not for poor people. We have two different type of mitzvot. One matanot la'evyonim, giving gift to the poor people, which by the way usually ani is poor, not Evion, right? So this is another question. And then mishloach manot ish lereu. You need to send to his friend, right? Even if he's very wealthy. Why? To increase the friendship. As it said in the Devrei Chazal, right? In the Rambam, b'mitzvat v'ahavta l'recha kamocha, chayav adam le'ev kol echad, right? We have an obligation to love everybody from Israel like our body. And this is a very high level. And this is the part of Purim, to be in peace and complete with the friend, with the dua mishloach manot, etc. Right? Because the beginning of the blemish in the time of Mordechai and Esther was exactly as Haman said. Right? So Masechet Megillah also he said to Achashverosh, Yeshnu am echad mefuzar umefurad, there is a nation, they are scattered, they are crumbled, right? They are not united. And we said the kinus tzadikim ana lahem ana la'olam, right? When the tzadikim, when the righteous people are getting together, it's good for the world, good for themselves. But when they are scattered, mefuzar umefurad, it's not good. So now it's about us. When our mind is going to many directions in the same time, and we have tangles with our thought, then we are separated. And then we have complaints and questions and doubts on all the friends and on the people, etc., etc. Right? As the Maran Saba Kadosh Melochovich, he said, when in heaven they want to punish a Jew, they planted in him ta'anot ala tzaddik, like they will throw to him, plant in his brain doubts on righteous people, on Rabbanim, you know, he will start to complain about it, etc., etc., maybe on his Chevruta. And the tikkun for that is to be in peace with his friend by mishloach manot, giving to your friends. לכן יש בפורים עניין שלם עצמו. So now the last part is complete and peace with himself. And one of the job of the day is erasing Amalek, right? Mechiyat Amalek. How we do that? Besur mira, detaching yourself from the bad, right? V'adar kiblo beratzon b'aseh tov, and then we will receive the Torah in doing good. So also in that it says, חייב אינש לבסומי עד לא ידע, right? So also we need to not to be able to identify between cursed Haman and blessed Mordechai. That when a person is not complete with himself, is not in peace with himself, right? As it says in Tehillim, אין שלום בעצמי. Then בעוסקו בתורה ועבודה, when he's learning and doing Torah and davening, then he's like blessed Mordechai. But when he's doing physical thing, work, etc., in the inyanim agashmim, and he sink into this desire, then he suddenly became like cursed Haman. Right? Two contradictions in the same person. כמאמר מרן אדמו"ר בבית אברהם זכות הגדול על הפסוק, דברי ריבו בשעריך, like, what does it mean? Like fighting in your gates. He said in your inner gates. Your body is sink into the desires, and the soul, which is part of Hashem, is claiming, right? Persecuting him and make the body suffer. And in Purim, חייב אינש לבסומי, so he doesn't, that in Purim he should have, again, that not recognizing or no difference between if he's doing Torah or if he's doing Avodah. Because malaretz kinyanecha, everything should be elevated to Hashem. Right? Malaretz kinyanecha. That we can buy it by Torah and Avodah. So this is the same thing when somebody is doing gashmiut things. Right? And he says, and Purim is a capable day. Purim הוא יום המסוגל לכך לחולל ביהודי, like to convert a Jew and to do a complete revolution. In that context of, they receive the Torah from Ratzon. That this divine light coming down each and every year. And if in the day of Kippurim, we need lots of work and effort, right? And we're davening the whole day, and we fast the whole day, and we're standing in shul, etc., to bring the light of the day. Then in Purim, we're just pouring on ourselves from above, from Shamayim, even without any preparation. So we can be peace and complete with ourselves, with a friend, and with Hashem. And also included in חייב אינש לבסומי בפוריה, עד דלא ידע בין ארור המן לברוך מרדכי. It says here, when a person observe and watch in the Hanhaga, watch how the world is running, then he's standing confused, right? And he cannot really understand, grasp and chap in his brain, like what's going on here, really, right? Without opening this Pandora box about gender, no gender, they, he, it, ze, boo, ba, whatever, like crazy stuff. How is it possible? And some of them are very smart people, intelligent people, right? So he said, דרכי Hashem הנסתרים, right? And Hashem ways are hidden. When he see these wicked people, right? They achieve so many things, right? So he cannot grasp, cannot understand. And all the things that are hidden in the darkness, etc. So he said, whether if it is in the klal or in the individual. So we should know, שידע אינש בנפשי, we should know in our soul, in our guts, that everything here is hidden. And the Purim, we need to, again, to achieve that level of the lo yada ben arur haman lebaruch Mordechai, that we should recognize that everything Hashem created for his honor. At the lo yada mimit someach kadosh, right? Hashem, kiddush Hashem gadol yoter, right? So, which means that we cannot understand or know who is actually is doing kiddush Hashem. Where the kiddush Hashem will come from the cursed Haman or blessed Mordechai. Same thing, it was revealed in Purim, that from the power of the Sitra Achra, from the other side, יצא כזה קידוש שם שמיים, right? And also with Paro we found out, right? So the Kiddush HaShamayim doesn't mean that the person is a righteous person and is doing something. Here he said that it's a wicked person, that he's doing the Shem Shamayim. He's doing the Kiddush Shem Shamayim. Right? Haman, for example, he plotting against us, and he have the tree and everything. Eventually, he was hanged on the tree, and his sons and everything, and Mordechai became the second to the king, right? This is Kiddush Shem Shamayim. It's all coming from Haman. You have a schut for that. And also with Paro, right? We found the same thing. That Chazal said that Paro makes us closer, right? She'ikriv liban shel Yisrael avim shebashamayim, because all of his hardened of his heart, eventually he caused us to be closer to Hashem. Because from the peak of the darkness of Egypt to the great revelation of Kriyat Yam Suf. And what the servant saw on the sea, right? What Yechezkel the prophet couldn't see. And according to that, right, they saw from Haman Aru, Samech Mem, right? He's the evil inclination himself. Came out this Kiddush Shem Shamayim. And then we actually receive at the time in the Purim the Torah from our own will, and that was a higher level even than what was in Har Sinai. And this is what it says, Chayv Inish Lebesumei Purim, right? Only from Purim itself, we can get drunk from all the revelation and what happened and how from heaven and all the story and everything that we know. And Hashem revealed to us that this revelation, right, are in the time of Purim, when we actually were in a very low level, right? There was risk to our life. And then we achieve such kind of a higher level. So this is again, another explanation. How is it possible that in a day of so many mitzvot that actually we should be concentrated and focus, a person should be drunk? So he said, should be drunk from Purim itself, not necessarily wine. So Be'ezrat Hashem, we will have a really great revelation and a happy Purim, and thank you very much for listening.